Hare Krishna. So the kids grew up to youth, and they are all supposed to be going to uh, the Hastinapur back. So now we could actually see that the 7 years graduation was completed by the people. That time in Gurukul, going to Gurukul means minimum 7 years. Lord Krishna, when he was 13 years old, with Balaram, they went to Gurukul as well. Uh, Even though they were the elders in the Gurukul, you could actually see in Santipani's ashram, many children were there, Gurukulis. Krishna and Balaram also joined. In terms of the age, Krishna and Balaram is actually much grown up, and they are supposed to study 7 years. But Krishna and Balaram finished the all 64 arts, music, fight, Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, all kinds of Vedic literature. They studied Puranas, Upanishads, everything they completed, and even dancing, singing, playing musical instruments, all those things they actually studied and finished it in 6 months, 180 days. Everyone was surprised um, seeing this unique um, intelligence of these two brothers. So in the end, some of them were suspicious and they were doubtful. How could these kids actually um, graduate so quick? So they wanted to um, ask several questions, put them in, brought them to the um, table, just like these IAS fellows. When they finish the IAS, that there is an interview, they'll be asking different questions. According to the answers, they will be um, given different ranks. So the boys were asked to answer all their questions. The sages and rishis were invited by Shantipani Muni, and they passed all of them. So here, these Pandavas and Kauravas went back to Hastinapur, and Shakuni devised a plan that we will have a competition. In that competition, it's a friendly competition. That was his plot. But actually, he wants to put Duryodhan into the superior position. So his idea was call Duryodhan first, then Pandavas. So Duryodhan can defeat all the Pandavas in public, right? He will be the winner, and he gets the support of the public, and he can be declared as the future king. That was his plan. So in that way, he tried to convinced practically Dhritarashtra, though Bhishma Dev and Vidura was opposing the ideas because it brings the enmity between these men or boys, whatever. Therefore, they don't want to um, do that or support that. Why? Because the fight actually starts, or whatever competition, the defeated party or the party who is going to fail in the match, he become very passionate. In order to win, he can go out of his own circle of limitation, on morality and ethics and friendship and relationship. It can all break up to establish his superiority and as the winner. So therefore, Bhishma Dev and Vitura didn't agree with it. But however, the king is the ultimate uh, decision maker, and Shakuni was already successful in convincing him previous night. Not previous night, several days ago. So therefore he actually declared, this shall be done. So Kurus like Bhishma Dev and Vitura, I don't know what, because ultimately they can only give suggestion and advices, counseling. But if this guy doesn't listen to, there's nothing they can do. So they have their own limitations as well. So they called Duryodhan. Match started. They called Duryodhan. They called Yudhishthir. They fought. Yudhishthir was very good fighter. He was almost um, um, defeating Duryodhan. But Shakuni gave him some kind of plans about questioning um, the birth of Yudhishthira is not actually holy. So when he was actually talking while fighting, because he understood, Duryodhan understood that he is going to um, lose the battle or the match. So he, in order to discourage Yudhishthira, he questioned the chastity of Kunti Mataji. So he became very upset, but at the same time he was following the religious principles. Because one of the rules is anybody, two people having the match, he never should become angry. So some or other he had control over the anger. So he just let him win and walked away. So similarly, Bhima, when Duryodhan was fighting with Bhima wanted to beat him like anything. And he did so. And he began to bleed. Duryodhan began to bleed. So when he was bleeding, Bhima was also disqualified because he made him to bleed. That was also one of the rules. So it's like that. Of course, Nakula and Sahadev is younger to Duryodhan. He easily defeated them. And Arjun, he was a person who strings bows and arrows, and he is expert in it. And Duryodhan, is a person who expert in the club fighting. So didn't match. So in the end, it was declared Arjun is the winner. But however, Karna was actually, as a spectator, he was watching all those things. When Dronacharya declared Arjun as the best among fighters, he didn't like that, because Dronacharya made a common declaration saying that Arjuna is actually the best of fighters in archery in all over the world. So then Karna entered into the scene. So when he came to the scene, that he said that is not true. You haven't analyzed every single person of this planet. And I am actually one of them. Let him fight with me. Then they asked, what is your family background? And they found out he is actually a son of a charioteer. So that charioteer was, driving the chariot for Bhishma Dev, his son. So when they heard that Karna is actually a son of a charioteer, they ridiculed him. They insulted him. And such a person come in this match organized only for the dynasty of Kuru princes, and you come and here, um, you know, declare your own superiority in fighting while you were born in a low class family. Get out from here. In order to fight with a prince, you also should be a prince. Only the kings and prince can actually take part in this particular match. It is organized for the Kurus, not for you. So he was insulted, and he didn't have any kind of options to save his popularity or skill. So at that time, Duryodhan always wants to make friendship with anybody who goes against the Pandavas. He wants to make friendship with them so that he gets more and more people. Um, One day he can actually use everyone against him, against the Pandavas. That was his idea. So immediately he stepped in. And of course, he is the son of the present ruling king. So he had some rights as well. So he made him, there was a place where demoniac spirits moves around, especially demons, and that territory was under Jarasandh. So, but it is actually Kurus, but he dominated that place and was trying to grab completely. So that is called Angadesh. So that territory was some or other. We see that the Kashmir was a disputed land, right? Of course, in this election, last election, the government reversed everything. The BJP government. So it's like that. That land, because Jarasandha wanted to have that land become the disputed land. Because Kurus didn't want to create unnecessary troubles to this fellow, even though Bhishma Dev is powerful to get it. But it is actually under Kuru dynasty. But Jarasandha was actually ruling. Jarasandha's people, not Jarasandha. So Duryodhana made him the king for that place. Then now you fight with Arjuna. Of course, after making him the king of the Anga region, he fought with Arjun, and Arjun, some or other, both were equally fighting. All of a sudden, the sunset happened. So when sun sets, according to the religious principles, fighting principles, the war have to be stopped. So that is the rule of the war. Whenever sun sets, it should be stopped. So they stopped the war. But passionate Karna again challenged. So Arjun said, for the sake of winning the war, I cannot break the religious principles. Maybe in the future we get again opportunity, so we can fight at that time. And you can show your superiority, there is no problem. Angaraj, right? So he became the king of Anga. So later, of course, Karna went and defeated all of the cannibals and rakshasas and demons, and because Jarasandha was a human being but full of qualities of demons. So he drove all of them out. Karna was the winner. So there, and he established his kingdom. So here, the match is over, and it is like a stalemate, right? In chess, when you play, uh, there is something, um, you couldn't make the opposition checkmate. At the same time, the opposition could not have a move, so that called stalemate. So here, the Pandavas and Kauravas become like that. So nobody was actually accepted as superior here. So in that way, that is gone. So when Dhritarashtra could not make his son the future king, and all the other members of the family, dynasty, citizens, they all want Yudhishthira to be that person, the future king. So always the king cannot be alone, because king can only um, take important matters. All the day-to-day activities are actually done by the prince, the future king. Exactly like in our administration, there is a prime minister, there is a president. The president, though he is also having equal power of prime minister, the practical administration of day-to-day um, things are actually carried out by the prime minister. So president has to be just a nice man. Um, it is something like that, or maybe serve as a vice president. So the Yudhishthira Maharaj um, is actually like the vice president. So he does all the job, and the king, he brings in front of the king, this has to be done, this has to be done, dam has to be built, this per the agricultural fellows has to be given sufficient wealth, because the crops did not actually grow due to the insufficient rain. And we need to have, because we need to have this much gold business, this much that, this much what that, because that time there was no industry. The Kshatriyas do not pay the taxes, because they are the administrators. The Brahmanas, they don't pay the taxes either, because they are the head of the society, giving always the instruction to the Kshatriyas, and they are engaged in the worships and priestly order. And only thing, the fundraising or the businesses grow and bring money is actually done by the Vaishyas. And they have all the banking system, cow protection, agriculture, businesses, various kinds of businesses, all were done by the Vaishyas. So they have to pay the taxes to the Kshatriyas. So that was actually the system. So Yudhishthira Maharaj bring all these day-to-day life's problems. Problems and improvements and different things he actually brings to the king. This person have done, this group of agriculturists done this, these farmers done that. So Dhritarashtra hears everything, glorifies. If there is a lack of something, he approves it, and all those kinds of things. So that is the way Yudhishthira Maharaj, that is the responsibility of the vice president or the prince who is elected as the future king. So now we'll continue tomorrow. Hare Krishna.